Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with a 6 month 60 books, and it is David Walliams' Fing. Yes, it's I'm a grown-ass adult, it's a children's book. It's quite funny though, because I bought this for my niece, but I read it first. Mackenzie is 8 years old, and she absolutely loves David Walliams. She's read all the books. How's about this, okay? My sister took her to see Gangster Granny last year in London. As it was, I think, the last show, and David Walliams was actually there. My sister and my niece met David Walliams, and he was signing books. And did they get a signed book for me? No, he didn't. No. Okay. I forgave them. Okay, so it is David Walliams' Fing. Okay. Let me read the thing in the back. This is a story of a child who had everything but still wanted more. Just one more thing. Look. Meet the Meeks. Myrtle Meek has everything she could possibly want, but everything isn't enough. She wants more, more, more. When Myrtle declares she wants a thing, there's only one problem. What is a thing? Mr. and Mrs. Meeks will do anything to keep their darling daughter happy. Even visit the library vaults to delve into the dusty pages of the mysterious Monsterpedia. A desperate quest leads them to the depths of the junglest jungle where the rarest of creatures can be found. But will they ever find a thing? Right, now this is it's quite, a short book, but let me just show you, once again, David Walliams' turn of phrase about Myrtle Meeks. It's a story about two very, very meek parents, meek by name, meek by nature. And Myrtle is just a nasty, nasty piece of work. This is an example, okay? Pick up the pieces now, the girl ordered. On the hands and knees under the kitchen table, Mr. Meek whispered to his wife, "What are we going to do? Our beloved offspring wants a thing. I don't think a thing is a real thing. I worry a thing is a made-up thing. We have to think of something. I mean something," said Mr. Meek before she felt a boot off her bottom. "Boof, out," she said. "Shut up down there." Came the voice from above. "I can barely hear myself blow off." That's better. Mr. and Mrs. Meek were in a panic. If they didn't come up with something, there was going to be trouble. Big trouble. So basically, Myrtle is a nasty piece of work. Her parents are just two extreme doormats. Just let her get away with it. And she's just horrible. Her first word was more. She wants more. She is not taken to school. She's carried to school. Okay. And I like the fact that David Walliams actually manages to kind of poke fun at himself. Okay, at this bit here is when they're in the library looking for the thing. Alright, now I'm not going to spoil this book, but I'm going to talk about what's through it. Hours passed until the exhausted pair had searched through every single book in the library. Footnote, even my one, they really should have looked through this book, but of course it hadn't been written yet. You know? David Walliams knows, after so many books, what he always expects, and he has to poke fun at it. And his little turn of phrases, okay, of the ancient, obscure and bizarre, okay, this just amused me. It's some of the list of the books where they find a Monsterpedia. Turf and Tales for Children, The Bumper Book of Medieval Torture, Paintings of Puddles, Phlegm, a Pictorial Guide, Cats Crying at Christmas, How to Drown a Witch in 5 Easy Steps, Beards of the Bible, a Spotter's Guide, 10,000 Tedious Poems, that kind of thing. So essentially, Mr. Meek, the very, very meek and passive Mr. Meek, goes to the deepest junglest jungle, which is absolutely great adventure. Which, by the way, if this book is ever animated, yes, it looks fantastic. But then they talk about what the thing is, and this, by the way, is a thing. The appearance of the thing is that of a fur-covered sphere. The size of the beast varies wildly. One moment they can be as small as a marble, the next as large as a hot air balloon. Things either have one eye in the centre or a hole on either side. One hole is a mouth, the other is it's for a more polite expression, bottom. But no one can be sure what hole is which. Not even the thing itself, which has been known to try to feed using its bottom. But, strange enough, a thing's favourite food is biscuits, or the custard cream variety. The thing beast can devour 100 in seconds, but they will eat almost anything and smell. Things will leave behind a trail of foul smelling droppings, which can be bigger, if not bigger, than the creature itself. That's the thing. Now, regarding Myrtle, she reminded me actually, Kate, of two people. two characters, famous literary characters. One is Veruca Salt, okay, from obviously Charlie Chocolate Factory. Another one, I believe, is just William. I can't remember her name. I'm going to find it and put it in this, okay? But she used to basically say, I scream and scream and scream until I'm sick, okay? She reminds me of these two characters. And I'm sure everyone's reading is going to point the name of a character, but I read those years ago. It was a TV show, but I was a child, okay? And one thing it does is, the fact is, the Meeks are so meek and mild, they don't even share the same bed. I'm reading this as little bonuses, because this is set now, in the present time. However, the attitude is very much 1950. 1950 is kind of, you know, as more sure. Chapter 11, Twin Bears. Sitting up in the Twin Bears, Mr. and Mrs. Meek discussed this, waiting till the night. Of course, both were desperate not to go, but being who they were, the argument was remarkably polite. But you need a jolly good holiday, Father, began Mother with a smile. You've been working so hard at the library, you should go. No, 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 you always said you wanted to travel and explore the world, Mother, replied Father. Have I? You said you wanted to go to the seaside for a day. Well, it's been very much like a day out at the seaside. In what way? Well, that stumped Mr. Meek rather. There might be an ice cream van, he offered pithily. An ice cream van, Mrs. Meek was incredulous. In the deepest, darkest jungle. These are the kind of people, they are so passive. It got, oh, you're just waiting for them just to kind of go off at the daughter, but so it never happens. They're just too meek and mild. I mean, but also the parents are so deluded. They're kind of in their own little heads. Of they have this precious, perfect daughter. I mean, it's the stuff they take for their deepest, darkest jungle trip. A bread sandwich. Father didn't like fillings as they were distracting. A packet of Favours crisps. No flavours, please, thank you. A plain yogurt, just as he liked them. Oh my God, is this guy Ned Flanders? This is the kind of characters they are. Both passive, meek, mild. And they've got an absolute hellion for a daughter. Okay? But this is just more of Myrtle. So I'm not really talking about her, what she does, okay? This is the kind of stuff Myrtle does. Myrtle snapping the Christmas tree in half when she didn't get enough presents. Myrtle stamping on snakes and ladders board when she was losing the game. Myrtle shoving her entire birthday cake into her gob in one go so no one could have a piece. Myrtle punching a hole through the favourite set when her favourite cartoon ended. Myrtle cheating on a school sports day by making her mother drive her around the racetrack. Myrtle deliberately throwing the entire house when asked to hurry up in the bath. Mars eating all her mother and father's books when they encouraged her to read one. Myrtle holding the headmaster down and giving her a bog wash when she was in detention for giving her teacher a bog wash. Myrtle setting up a store outside her house to sell every single one of her parents' possessions. She could buy herself a roller coaster. Myrtle waited for so much that Mr. Whippy, the ice cream van actually toppled onto its side. Yeah. Myrtle is, that's the thing though, is a lot of the bits where the father, Mr. Meek, was on his big, deep, dark jungle adventure. And that was really good, but at the same time I was thinking, Myrtle was such an odious character. I kind of want to see what she's up to right now. But this bit here, I absolutely adored, okay? And it's last chapter I'm going to talk about, but chapter 24 being British, because it just sums it up perfectly. Mr. Meek drew some funny looks in the supermarket with the Fing still on him. Being British, he thought it best not to carry on as it was absolutely nothing at all about having a fairy ball with one eye stuck to the end of his finger. He greeted his fellow shoppers with a smile. Good morning. Being British, he didn't say anything, so they just smiled weakly and hurried off as fast as they could. Despite being far too big to sit in the baby seat in the shopping trolley, Myrtle insisted to squeeze herself into it. I'm allergic to walking, she announced as the parents lowered her in. There you go. Yeah, that's just a little bit. Myrtle is just so odious and nasty, and I absolutely love the ending. I'm not going to spoil the ending for anything, okay? But the thing is, it says, though Funny has a worthy successor, from the telegraph on the back. To me, yes and no. I like David Walliams' work because he can poke fun at himself, okay, with the Walliams Encyclopedia, okay, or the Williamspedia, okay. He knows his audience, okay, here we go. the word spell, which is a real word, just check the Williams dictionary. So the Williams dictionary. Here you go. Okay, he knows his audience now. He knows what people like to read, and he kind of likes to kind of take that. The idea of a British child done to death. But this book is just original because you don't really expect it to go in this kind of way. I won't spoil the ending, okay? Well, excessive are well done, most definitely. However, based on his other books, this is a bit more fanciful than his typical fare. Things like The Boy in a Dress, Bad Dads. This is more of a whimsy book. So, Billionaire Boy, this is more whimsical and fanciful than his typical work, but it's still really nice attention to canon. Raj does get a little throw in, his little kind of joke directed at Raj as well, which is good because obviously you love Raj. I like to see this as a TV show, which hopefully eventually, or what is it like TV movies? But to me, it does remind me a little bit of Old Dharma, most definitely. But also, the writer, Anthony Horowitz, his earlier stuff. And I've actually met Anthony Horowitz. He wrote a really good book called The Switch, which I really do recommend. I'm actually going to put that in the links. But it reminds me of also Anthony Horowitz. It's got a kind of turn and whimsical kind of phrase. I like the fact that the attitudes of these parents, these librarians, are meek and mild, literally, are calls each other mother and father. They are so meek and mild. However, this is a book set in the present day, yet the attitudes are of the 1950s. Apart from, obviously, their daughter. So, I really love it. Congratulations, David Walliams. You made a really, really good book. It is well written, it is funny, and it's a bit more different from your last book, and I absolutely loved it. So, my niece, Mackenzie, who's going to absolutely love it, is going to give it to her right now, and sign off here. And bye now.